deception. Nothing you see on the internet is true. It may be real, meaning you're capturing a moment in real life, but it's not truth. It's deception. This is where I get on my little tinfoil hat, soapbox. Moon landings. None of us watching this. There's 6 people watching currently, including myself, 7 people. None of the 7 people currently engaged in this live stream, the probability of any of us being able to go to the moon, probably less than 1%. It's probably less than 1%. None of us can go to the moon. None of us have been to the moon. Again, talking in terms of probability. The evidence that we have that the moon, that somebody's been there, is some rocks. You don't know where they came from. Supposedly they're from the moon. Cool. Pictures and videos. I could tell you right now, I'm on the moon right now. And I could just transition to a nice little CGI effect, green screen. I'm like, he looks like he's on the moon. We can't verify it in person ourselves. So there's a level of deception taking place. Whether or not it is true, I don't know. You don't know. It's kind of like the argument of, is there a God? I don't know. I don't know. I look at the evidence and I form a theory. I'm like, how did math evolve? Well, the same way language evolved, the same way animals evolved. Looks like intelligent design, not evolution, or at least not macroevolution. I don't know. How did music evolve? How do we understand what music sounds like? Tradition? Legacy? Frequency? I don't know. To go along with the argument of God and what have you, when you talk about shifting the burden of proof, deception is taking place. If I said, prove God is real, you said, well, I can't. I say, no, well, don't ask me to prove God is real. You prove God is not real. That's called shifting the burden of proof. You're telling the other person, you prove it. No, you prove it. Well, neither one of y'all can prove it. Proof exists in mathematics in most cases. The proof isn't, even in a court case, in a courtroom, they look at evidence, not proof. Evidence. And then they come to a conclusion based on evidence. Thank God we don't start with theories and then just go look for evidence, because everybody would be convicted. Everybody would be guilty. What else we got? The study of history. My little side notes be on 10. Anything that has a book with a dead author. History is the study of perception. The study of history is the study of someone's or many people's perception. How they view the world. Then they wrote it down on a piece of paper, put it in a book, and then you read the book through your perception about their perception. You get further and further away from the truth. It's a telephone game. And that goes for any book. Religious text, that goes for any book. Because how do you know the truth if all you're reading is someone's perception? I don't know. I'm not here to tell you that your religion is wrong. I'm not here to announce that I think my religion is wrong. I'm just asking a question. I'm like, if the person who experienced it recorded it using their perception, and their perception can lead to their deception, and then I read the book about their perception, which led to my deception because they were already deceived, and that book apparently, or the scrolls, what have you, centuries ago. And so you're talking about thousands, if not millions of people's perception passed down from generation to generation. And I'm just the last person to perceive it. How can that be true? The facts could be passed back and forth. But is the truth passed back and forth? I don't know. The study of cosmology. The beginning. No one alive today was alive when the universe began. It might be controversial, but I don't know how you dispute that. It's a theory. But the evidence supports that. Because nobody's billions of years old. No one's thousands of years old. If they are, they haven't told anyone. And they're probably on deathbed. The study of cosmology. How do we know how everything began? I'll tell you for one thing, the Big Bang Theory doesn't seem to add up. Because if you ask very elementary questions, where did the energy come from for something to blow up? Oh, what blew up? If it all came from a singular dot Why is everything in the universe somewhat different? The laws of it's one of the laws of one of the laws of thermodynamics. But if a spinning dot bursts apart, shouldn't all the parts be spinning in the same direction? Why do we have moons orbiting backwards? I think Jupiter has like multiple moons that go in opposite directions. How's that possible? Why is Earth seemingly the only planet with water? All the talks of Mars and what have you. It would seem as if maybe the water's evaporated, what have you. I don't know. If you get closer to the sun, maybe you shouldn't have water if you're that close to the sun. But how do we land on the perfect distance from the sun where we get 70-degree weather? It's just a question. All we have is theories about the beginning. That's all we have. We have theories. That's all we have. We talk about theories that shift the burden of proof. You can't prove most things unless it's in the realm of mathematics.